thought today's action we would start with my old true and tried Bushnell spotting scope and compare it to the cheaper Chinese made spotting scope I got off Amazon, see how well it does. I love this scope right here. I've had it for almost 35-40 years, and it's never let me down. I'll open it up for you and show you. She's been pretty well kept. The lens on her is a 48, and that's what she looked like, and she's still just like brand new. I've had that baby for, since 1985, so it's been, 95, 2005, 15, it's almost been 40 years, so Amos likes it. He don't like it whenever I start shooting though. But we're gonna set this up. The only thing I was wanting to do is start filming my targets at 40. I usually shoot at 45, 50 yards to zero in a rifle, 25 yards for handgun. But I thought I wanted to do some 100-yard shooting, and this works good. I can see my shots, and it's very sensitive to movement. Most spotting scopes are, because the tripods aren't all that sturdy. This has probably got the sturdiest tripod I've ever seen, and it's well made. I think it's aircraft aluminum and stainless steel. The cheaper Chinese version is over here. I'll tell you about this little setup in a second, but it is nowhere near the quality of that Bushnell. And I don't even think it looks good, but it's nowhere near the quality. It's a 20, well, it's a 60 by 60, but I guess that's a 20 millimeter or whatever. But I'll show you. I'm gonna set it up for you guys and show you the difference. So that's what today's video is gonna be about, comparing spotting scopes. Okay, let's talk about this Chinese version. As you can see, we'll talk about the tripod first. It's made out of thin, tubular, bent metal. And the only good thing about this tripod are the rubber feet. That's the only good thing. All this is metal. It's kind of like a pot metal. Very small, flimsy screws holding it together. And this is not smooth at all. The clamp that keeps them from moving and locks it down, it's not smooth at all. It's really jerky. I don't like that at all. So let me set this up and I'll show you the difference in this one and the Bushnell. Oh yeah, let me show you something else. Little bitty tiny wheel down here that you're supposed to get your big fat fingers underneath to tighten this thing up. And you saw how big the wheel was on the Bushnell. All right. Okay, I've tightened that down as tight as I can get it with my fingers, but watch this. If I hold the base of it, it still wants to turn. So it's still as tight as I can get it with my fingers. Now, I don't want to use a pair of pliers and strip it, because that screw's probably made out of cheap aluminum or something. But as long as if it holds it while I'm filming and doesn't cause me any problems like that, then that's fine. Has a rubber protected cap over the lens. Has a plastic flip down cap on the end of the scope. Now, what I do like about this, it's got a 45-degree viewing, so you don't have to bend all the way over and take your hat off to look into the lens. That's a good thing. When you're sitting down, all you gotta do is look down and you're in your view. But we're gonna talk about this part now. While this is sitting here adjusting to the outside temperature, because I've had it inside a 75-degree room, I know the lenses are going to fog up a little bit, because it's, I guess, about under the shade here, it's still about 84, 85 degrees with about a 85% humidity. It's hot today. But this device clamps over the phone, and you take this and clamp it to the rim of your lens. And that way your phone can film your camera, phone, whichever you use. I always use my iPhone to film with. But the only difference is this lens it's smooth, but it can't take the weight of the phone. And the way that I have to set this on the phone, I'll have to film this in a not the horizon type view, but it'll be a vertical type view, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll try both ways and show you. But first, I have to put this on the phone, line this up with the camera on the back of the phone. Okay, this is just with the view of looking through the hole of the mount that I put on the camera. Now I'm going to put it on here and clamp it down. If I can get it clamped. Alright, she's clamped down. And I've got to tighten up my tripod so she doesn't move. And let's see if I can focus it in. And zoom my camera out. This is what happens when I let go to film. It shoots it at a different angle, and it ends up basically falling back to vertical position. But it's about, let me get my eyes on to see how well she's focused. As you can see, it's not a bad view. I mean, I could see the leaves, but there's still a little haziness, and this stand, I mean, I'm just barely touching this thing to adjust the focus. That's not a bad view, but it's got some blurriness on, and I just don't think it's as sharp. But if I had a target out there at 100 and that's probably about at 110 yards, I could see where the bullets hit. That's not bad. By the way, I've told you I don't like lasers. I really don't like lasers.
Damn you, laser guy! You had to grab it all with your low-brow laser stick. You're just a pro.
Oh, well, guys, I'm sorry, but it's another day. It's a little bit cooler today. Probably about 79 or 80. I had to quit filming the other day because it was just too damn hot. What we got set up now, we got our Bushnell camera out, our scope. And let me turn it around here. As you can see, unlike the Chinese one, I've got a big knob to tighten this thing down on. I have a big elevation knob here. And on this side, I've got my focus. And it's extremely smooth focus. And my eye the lens protector comes off. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hook this up. I had to modify the inside of it and glue in some rubber panels to fit this smaller eyepiece. Because my intentions are to film my targets with a higher quality scope and use the Chinese scope for my shooting on, at the table. That way I can film and not have any movement or jerking every time I shoot. And you guys will be able to see it without all the interruptions of bouncing and bumping. And this way we can hope bring better quality to our video. So let me get this hooked up on the camera and put it on the scope here and show you what it looks like. All right, that's what she looks like if I can quit bouncing around here. Right there. There we go. I'm having to hold it because the weight of the camera is still bothering it. But you can see I think it's a lot more depth to the to the camera, and I could zoom in and out and maybe focus a little bit better. But this is what I'm hoping to film with. And I think I'm going to have to just work on finding something to help steady the weight of this camera, even though I modified this lens holder. It's still just not holding it perfectly still. But anyway, that's the difference in the viewing and the depth of both of them. They're not bad. I'm not disappointed with the capability of the Chinese scope. I'm going to use it. I can see with it, and I just want to be able to film a little bit better. But the purpose of this video really is just to let you know if you're going to get you a spotting scope, it doesn't have to be one that's really, really expensive. and I think I gave about $200 for this scope about 40 years ago, and I don't know what they are today because I just don't price them. I know that they got the cheaper Chinese ones, like I bought. And I think I've got less than 50 bucks in it, but if I remember. All right, this first target, well, the only targets I've got right now, I haven't got any homemade ones, but I'm gonna tell you where to and how to obtain easy made targets. Anyway, this first one is the kind I told you that I like using. It's made by Dirty Bird. I'm not sponsored by them, but this is what they look like. This is a silhouette, 16 by 18 silhouette. It's a good little target. You can see that at 100 yards, really pretty good without a scope, but you can see it damn good with a scope. By the way, I've told you I don't like lasers. I really don't like lasers.
Damn you, laser guy! You had to grab it all with your low-brow laser stick!
Like I said, I'm going to show you this real quick. The cardboard box right there. I saved that from a package I got from Amazon last year. You can take a few of those little cheap clamps that you can buy at what's the name of that place? Harbor Freight. Get you a couple of them little cheap clamps, and I'm going to show you the stand that I've got. These stands are homemade, really economical to make. They last a long time, and you can just about put them anywhere. So I'm going to show you those next. But these are the things that I think that you should try to obtain if you want to start trying to work on accuracy. So hold on, let's go look at the stand. What we got here is 1/2 inch round bar, and it's approximately 2.5 feet by 3 feet, and it goes all the way down to the ground at I think it's 6 feet high, and it stands on its own. I've got this to stabilize it in the back. The good thing I like about this, if you want to hang a steel target on this top bar and hang it here and shoot from this side, when you make a hit, it will fall. And that way you can see it at a long distance, it go down. If you don't want to, and you do have your scope, you can hang you a steel target right here and paint it red or orange or whatever you want, and it'll swing when it takes a hit and come back and not fall. So I like this stand. I've got several that I made like this. It's just well, there's 12 feet by I don't know, probably two 12-foot sections of 1/2 inch round stock. So I've had this thing for the last 15 years, and it's worked great. And what I was telling you about those cardboard, you can use you some clamps and clamp your cardboard on either side, on the corners, and then mount a target here and a target here. That way you can shoot without having to go back and forth to change the target, or If you want to switch to a newer target, there you go. You already got it set up. That's what I like about this stand. Now, let's talk about something else. Okay, now when you put that cardboard up on that steel frame that I showed you, make sure you got it clamped down. These are the kind of clamps I was talking about getting from Harbor Freight. They're cheap. The small ones here, they work great on those targets. So get these kind of clamps when you go to clamping that cardboard to those targets. Sometimes wind, if it's blowing back toward you, it may blow your targets off if all you got up there is paper. I have hung paper up there, and I found the best way to do it is to use simple old masking tape and try to center the target up in the center of the frame. And I have yet to shoot that frame, and I've probably put 1,000 rounds through the center of it. Another good source of getting easy targets, if you just want paper to mark on and shoot, go by your local middle schools and high schools and ask them if they have any of their yearly football and basketball and baseball programs already printed. A lot of them will print those on a 2.5 by 3 foot poster, and they'll give them to you. I worked at a high school as a school resource officer for 14 years, and at the end of each season of each sport, I ended up getting probably, I don't know, 20 to 25 of those posters that were just left over that they were just going to throw in the garbage. Took them and, you know, rolled them up and put them away. And when you find you a place to put them away, try to find you a place that you can lay them down flat and store them flat. I remember the first roll I brought home, I kept them rolled up with a rubber band, and when I, you know, released them from the rubber band, they kept their shape. So it took me a while to get them straightened out enough to use them. But the back side of those programs, there's nothing on them. And you can put as many red dots or orange dots or how many little targets on there that you want to put on it and shoot at each individual one. That's why I like those. And you heard me talking about just regular sheets of paper. You can use those, just tape them with a good tape. Don't use staples on the cardboard, because the staples, after you hit the target a couple of times, those staples have a tendency to vibrate out of the cardboard. So use a good, I don't know, masking tape or a duct tape to hold your target on the cardboard. And right now, I think that's going to be it for just this basically of getting started on distance accuracy type shooting. And we'll I think do my next video. I bought me a brand new, well, my wife bought it for me last year for Christmas, and I haven't had a chance to bring her out and zero her in. It's a little 22 Plinker. It's a Smith Wesson 22. What is it? Oh, it's the AR version, but I wanted to bring it out and zero it in and test it in, and I'll show you how I do that. So you guys like the channel, I hope you come back and let me know what you think, because the next video we're going to do some target shooting. We'll catch you later.